Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the vlog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? Guys, before we get to the gossip, let's talk about what's happening around the country. These strong ass winds, you guys. Looks like the southeast coast is taking a page out of the west coast book, and now we've been dealing with wildfires out this way. Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, going up the coast. They've all been dealing with wildfires because of the crazy weather patterns that we've been having in our country. Because of these wildfires, they say that our wildfire season, or our fire burn season, is off to an early start. Yeah, I don't even remember ever even hearing much about fires out this way. You know, it rains so much out this way and we don't have much brush. However, we have a lot of fuel still because we have a lot of green. And so everything is on fire. And there's a lot of people. I was watching the news. I was watching World News Tonight last night. And they were showing a trailer park in particular, like an RV park that had been damaged. And it was so sad. I mean, it was just like completely demolished. And they even had a death. I think there was a woman that had died in that particular fire. But anyway, I got some stats for you. So they say that an estimated 9,520 wildfires have burned across almost 270,000 acres across our nation. Okay. That's above the 10-year average of 6,629 wildfires, but below the average of acreage burned, with around 433,000 burned. Okay. They say that the trend shows no signs of slowing down, and we can expect to be dealing with these wildfires for quite some time. They expect it basically to be burning from now all the way through till June. So yeah, the wind has been horrible out here. Actually, it's been nice to have the wind because, you know, Atlanta, I mean, it's never really windy out here, but it has been windy on and off for the last couple of weeks. Saturday night in particular, though, I really thought that we were going to have a tornado. We were on tornado watch, but you know, we've been on tornado watch plenty of times out here in Atlanta. And so I usually, I mean, you know, I'm precautious or whatever, but I usually take them with a grain of salt, knowing that I live in an area that usually does not get hit by that kind of, you know, that kind of activity. However, because it was so windy Saturday, I was a little concerned. Jada was supposed to go get her hair done. And I was like, I don't think you should go because this weather is bad. You might need to wait, you know. And thank goodness she didn't go, because even though we didn't have a tornado, I'm going to tell you what, it sounded like the damn shutters was trying to get ripped off the front of my house. Saturday night, man, we was rocking and rolling. It started about 9-ish. You know, like I said, it was already windy, but then it started to pick up really, really bad. I mean, it was shaking. It would like shift the house. And, you know, I was looking outside. We don't really have any trees that are like directly near us. So we don't have any problems with like trees possibly being able to fall down on our home or anything. But, you know, further back into the woods, I could look and see, and those trees were just, I mean, they looked like, as a matter of fact, we probably need to go back there and check and see. I'm sure some trees might have been toppled, especially in our woods in the back of our house, because those trees, I think, are diseased, and a lot of them fall a lot of times. So that's another story. But anyway, yeah, you guys, I mean, it was super windy, and it was like, it was those kind of noises. So needless to say, I had to give Blue his medication so that he wouldn't be scared. He still was scared. I left him out of his kennel, let him sleep you know, on his bed on the couch. and we just had to tough it out. I was concerned that the power was going to go out. Our power didn't go out, and I didn't see many people on the news them talking about, you know, there was that much power. I'm talking about just in Atlanta. Yeah, the winds have just been amazing, and I've been watching the news, and they've been saying that it's been windy pretty much across the country. And so this is a new something that we haven't. That's the reason why the weather is just so odd. The wind blows in the heat or blows in the cold. You know, it was just 70 something degrees a few days ago, and then yesterday it had dropped down into the 40s, and then today it's back in the 70s, you know. So it's like everything is so very unpredictable. But yeah, the wind in Atlanta, it was so bad. It was so bad Saturday night, but thank God, I didn't even really hear much of any reports of anybody getting any damage in Atlanta, or any life loss or anything like that. But yeah, it's strange because the weather here you can't really say anymore that, okay, during the spring it's nice and sunny and beautiful. Actually, it is still nice and sunny and beautiful here during the spring. However, we are starting to get more, different patterns than just what we usually expect in spring. Definitely rain, but like I said, tornadoes and this wind and all that. So that is that. I'm hoping for my rock stars that are on this coast, really everywhere, because like I said, people have been, there's been fires that they've been dealing with a lot of different places. Hopefully everybody is safe. I'm even more concerned about fires because of these winds. Even in my neighborhood, there's a lot of building where we live. Amazon has bought all of this land, and it's like so many warehouses in the area, and so we have a lot of open space that I've always been told attracts those kind of attracts that kind of occurrence when it's a lot of like flat land and just like open flat land. So we have a lot of open flat land not too far from my subdivision, and so I do kind of get concerned. And then I also live where there's a lot of those big because it wasn't industrial, it wasn't really nothing when we first moved over there. I think that had we moved there now, or had we been thinking about moving in that area now and looking in the area and the way they're building so many warehouses over there, we probably wouldn't even buy over there. But so now that these warehouses are cropping up and everything, and then those big old tall structures of the electrical towers and things like that, yeah, it does make me a little concerned with this wind. So, but so far, we haven't, in Atlanta, we haven't had to deal with any wildfires. But prayers up for all of the rock stars, family, friends, anybody out there that are suffering with these fires. I am so sorry. It is definitely time to try to make sure that you get rid of any type of things that is easy to catch around your home. And just kind of try to start fireproofing and start trying to, make your environment a little bit more safe, because it's just hard to know when these kind of things are going to strike. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next story. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to tell you guys this story because I haven't seen it on social media other than on Ice Cream Convos. And I think this is a story that's probably going to grow. Right now, there's not much talk behind it, but I think the family is going to push. This is going to end up eventually in mainstream media. So apparently 19-year-old twin brothers Nasir and Quadir Lewis, they live in Lawrenceville, Georgia, out here in Lawrenceville is a suburb of Atlanta. They're from that area, and apparently they were due to go to Boston on March 7th. They had bought tickets to fly to Boston early March 7th. However, apparently there were some hikers that were hiking in Hiawassee, Georgia, which is about 100 miles away from Lawrenceville, and they got to the top of a hill called Bell Hill, and they discovered the bodies of the two brothers. Okay, they were dead on top of the hill. They had died by gunshot wounds. The police conducted, I guess, a preliminary type of investigation, and they came up with murder-suicide. However, the family is not accepting that and are pushing for a further investigation because they say that these twins were very close and there were no issues and there's no reason for them to have killed themselves, or one killed themselves and the other, and killed the other, because that's just not something that they would do. So the family is pushing for more investigation. These are just preliminary findings. They are still waiting on some coroner forensics type of evidence, and then I guess maybe they will change whatever they said, happened up there on the hill. However, it is a very strange story when you hear about it. The family says that, they were not even aware of this hill, and they don't believe that the boys were aware of it as well. And again, they just don't think that they would have killed themselves or, shot and killed and then killed the other. So very strange story, and I think it's going to be way more to it. Eventually, we'll hear more about it, but I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of it now. I think that story is going to grow. And when it does come out, more info, I will let you guys know. Okay, you guys be careful out there, child. I don't know what's going on in the world, but it is a lot of crazy things happening. So just always head on the swivel, be paying attention. Okay, next story. All right, you guys, so Universal Music Group has filed a motion to drop the lawsuit that Drake has filed against them. You guys know that Drake is one of their music artists that has been on their label for as long as we've known who Drake is as a rapper. And remember, he complained and decided to sue the label because he said that they were promoting Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us and other Kendrick Lamar music and making his music hard to find, hard to be searchable on Spotify, saying that UMG and Spotify had something worked out so that, they would push up Not Like Us or Kendrick Lamar music, and then you couldn't even really find Drake music at some point. Universal Music Group has always said that was not true. And there's the people of the streets have always said, like, well, Drake is complaining about something that Universal Music Group most likely has done for him in the past as well against other artists. But now that, it's never fun when the rabbit has the gun, like they say. So now that Drake has found himself on the side of also not being promoted by his label, there's that. But yeah, Universal Music Group is saying that they promote all of their artists and there's no merit in the case that Drake had filed. They're also saying that Drake basically lost a rap battle that he 100% participated in, actually encouraged and incited this rap beef as he, dropped songs going back and forth with Kendrick. But Universal Music Group's opinion is because Drake lost the rap battle, the rap beef, I should say, now he has decided to turn on the label and take it out on them, which they basically like the nigga's feelings was hurt and now he want to sue us because he mad, and that's not it. Okay, it will not be going down on UMG's watch. UMG is also saying that Drake just 3 years ago signed a petition that was going around. I guess the music artists were signing these petitions that said that music is creative expression and that you could not use music legally, like in a courtroom setting, to say, like, so for instance, if a rapper is bragging about being the biggest dope dealer, the biggest killer, the biggest gangster, the biggest this, that, and the other, you can't use that information and actually use it as legal, use it so that you could legally sue or arrest or something like that. They're saying that that's not factual, it's just entertainment. However, now fast forward 3 years later, and Drake is trying to say that the fact that Kendrick Lamar called him a pedophile, amongst other bad things, that it was just artistic expression. Okay, so how is it that some things that people say is artistic expression and not others? And so that is why UMG is just like, well, he has nothing to stand on, because we've already determined that, you know, rappers can rap and say whatever the hell they want to say, but we can't take that to court and say that that is actual fact and that they're admitting to any type of crime. Okay, so yeah, I think that part of it is really going to do Drake in. I'm not a lawyer, but my real rock star lawyers, you can chime in here, because it just looks like Drake is, you know, he's trying to make an exception for himself. And so, yeah, they're not going for it. They filed to have the case dropped, and we will see what happens there. UMG has been all over the news, though, you guys, because we also have Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea is one of the latest artists who are complaining about Universal Music Group not paying her royalties. That seems to be a conversation that a lot of artists are having right now. In Iggy Azalea's case, she's saying that she has not received any payment for her music that is played outside of the United States. So anything that is overseas, she has not received any royalties. And she says that she should have been paid millions. She said 8 figures at least. So at least $10 million. Okay. So she is suing and expecting that music back. Not music, child. Money back. She said that her lawyers, when they had reached out to UMG to let them know that they had never received any royalty money, that UMG had sent them a settlement for $18,000. Now, I just told you that it was somewhere around the figure of 8 figures that she is missing. And when they come back with an $18,000 settlement, you know, which she says is standard. That's what the music business does, and a lot of people do accept those settlements because they can't really afford the representation that it would take to fight a UMG. However, Iggy Azalea says that she still has plenty money, and so she is going to be fighting this, and she expects UMG to be paying her. And I don't blame her one bit. Everybody is old, whatever they listen, pay the lady. Okay. We ain't heard Iggy Azalea's name, at least not in the rap circles anyway, in a long time. But you know what? If there's money out there to be to be given to this woman, then yeah, go on and give it to the lady. We'll see what happens with that. If we hear anything more about it, you guys, I'll let you know. But yeah, UMG seems to be pissing off quite a few different artists out there. I guess labels just do piss off their artists anyway. Okay, unless it's like they're in that little golden era where everything is going great. But when you start to kind of drop off and stuff, I guess that's when, you know, that's when things aren't just as exciting and fun and happy anymore. People want their damn money. So UMG, pay them folks. Pay them folks. Next story. All right, you guys, there's good news. So they say that FX has ordered a pilot of the spinoff from the hit television show Snowfall that we all love, that starred Damson Idris as Franklin Saint. He was an emerging and rose to the top drug dealer in 1980s LA crack era. Okay, that's what the story was about. And, you know, that show finally did end last year. No, I think it was maybe year before last. Or it could have been early last, I don't remember. But anyway, we were told then that they were going to spin off the story of Wanda and what's the name? What the man name was? Wanda and Leon. Okay, remember Wanda and Leon in the story. Leon was always being torn between being a drug dealer over in Nickerson Gardens, and then also wanting to be a person that actually helps the community. Okay, he eventually ended up moving to Africa. Him and Wanda was on drugs, but they ended up getting together, and then his love for her and, you know, her determination to get off drugs, you know, she ended up getting clean, and then they got married and they moved to Africa. However, Wanda came back. Well, actually, they both came back. They both came back after some time in Africa where everything was beautiful and plentiful, and they looked happy, and you know, they looked like they were thriving and doing well, and they weren't dealing with the everyday guns and drugs and crazy people and all that. Like, it was just wonderful. And then they ended up going back, which I was just like, why did they go back, Lord? Why did they go back? But I mean, I knew that Leon was going to want to come back because he wanted to make sure, you know, he wanted to make a difference in his community. But when he ended up coming back, remember, the shit was 10 times worse. The way the story ended on Snowfalls, we know that Franklin ended up turning out to be a crackhead himself, and Leon is doing well, and we didn't really know exactly what was going to happen with Leon and Wanda, whether or not they were moving back to Africa, or they going to be back in LA, like what it was going to be. So now they've given these two a spinoff. They have not said the name of the show yet, but I'm excited about the spinoff. I was reading up, though. Some people are excited and other people aren't. People are saying that Wanda and Leon were not really that interesting. However, I'm pretty vested in that story, and I cannot wait for the spinoff to happen. This time, it'll be 90s LA streets, still, you know, dealing with the drug and the crack era, but I think it was more of when the crack era was dying down and more of the hip hop era that was emerging, and and Wanda wants to be a female rapper. And so she is determined to be successful at that. And so they're saying that this is going to be a story about, you know, just that rise. We don't know if her and Leon are still together. You know, they will know all of that once the pilot is shot and airs. But yeah, y'all, I'm pumped. I really want people to get behind it and support it. I actually will review it if they do bring the show. You know, if the pilot is picked up, which I think it will be. I think there is still enough audience interest for it to actually be picked up and at least for us to get a season. But yeah, I'll let you guys know right now that I will review that show if it comes. So hopefully, the pilot will do well and get picked up. All right. Are you guys excited about seeing it, though? Did you guys watch Snowfall? Child, I still ain't got over Franklin Mama. It's fuck Franklin Mama from here on out. And y'all ain't got to be down in my comments writing no whole long story about what the mama was going to do and how it had to happen and this. I don't care. It's still fuck that mama. Fuck her. I don't give a fuck, okay? That's that on that, y'all. Let's move on to the next story. Okay, you guys, they're saying that Forever 21 is about to close. They say that they have filed bankruptcy for the second time. I told you guys about the first time that they filed for bankruptcy back in 2019, and I was bummed. I was like, you know, I love Forever 21. I mean, I don't go there as often as I used to, but whenever I know there's something specific that I need, I know I can find it at Forever 21. Okay, but Forever 21 is now, you know, they're not the leading fast fashions store any longer, because you have all these online fast fashion stores that don't have like overhead of brick and mortar, and they can have monumental inventory, not the same way that Forever 21 can, and they just don't have the overhead as much. So because they're in competition with like Shein and Pretty Little Things and Fashion Nova and those types, they're not able to sustain the business any longer. So now 6 years later, they filed bankruptcy again. This time it looks like it's a done deal. I know when they filed bankruptcy before, there were the investigators, the investors that came in. I believe that Shaq was actually one of the ones that invested quite a bit in the company. But I guess it was not enough. Child, I always thought, well, not always, but just in this last year or so, I thought that maybe Forever 21 and Shein ended up linking or merging together because they were allowing Shein returns at the store. But I guess that's not what was happening. Maybe Forever 21 was just doing Shein a solid for a good little coin. And, you know, maybe that's what was going on there. But yeah, it's now going to be a wrap on Forever 21. And that just kind of makes me a little sad, you guys, because Forever 21, I can remember when the very first, well, I don't know if it's the very first, but I can remember when it had to have been maybe the first 1 or 2 Forever 21s in Fox Hills Mall opened. I mean, I can remember the day it opened when me and Deborah was at the mall and we were walking around and we walked by and they were just opening the store. And we came in there and we put a whole bunch of shit on layaway because at the time we were working at Jenny Craig. And, you know, we needed to have like some official, like office type of wear. And they had a lot of that kind of stuff there and it was all coordinates and it was very, very cheap. And they had layaway at the time. So, child, we went in there and we probably put about 10 outfits on layaway. I never was a layaway person, but Deborah was because I like to have my shit now. But Deborah would always do layaway at different places. So I started doing the layaway there as well. But yeah, you guys, I just cannot believe it. And this was back in had to be like 90. We weren't even 21 yet. So yeah, it's just a special little place in my heart. I hate to see Forever 21 go. Like I said, I don't go there as often, but I still know that they're always there. So it's gonna be kind of sad to see Forever 21 go. But good news is you can always order the shit. Hell, you can almost, I feel like Amazon might be giving even Shein, Pretty Little Things and Fashion Nova and all those fast fashions kind of place. I feel like even Amazon is giving them a run for their money. Okay, because you can pretty much find almost all that stuff. Maybe not the best, as you know, maybe the quality might be different, but you can find a lot of the things that you're looking for on Fashion Nova or Shein. You can find it on Amazon. Honey, Amazon has everything. I know we're supposed to be boycotting Amazon and all that. I still have, I mean, what was the turn, what turned out from the last boycott when they had everybody not buying shit on Friday? Okay, like I haven't heard nothing else about it. I'm still gonna order from Amazon. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do it. I haven't been to Target. And I haven't been some of the other places, but I don't know what it's gonna take for me to have to not order from Amazon again. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm not part of the team on that one, but you know. Anyway, you guys. Yeah, sad to see Forever 21 go. End of an era. Next story. All right, you guys. So Sanus, is that his name? Oh boy, the one that played oh boy in Insecure, played the one that Yvonne Orji's character just could not seem to get out of her system, but he was married and they was, you know, he had the open marriage and all that. Okay. He has found himself in some trouble again. Well, not in trouble, but they've been saying that he is abusive. His newest baby mama is saying that he's abused her. One of the other baby mamas said that he choked her out. There is another woman, I think, that he had some bad times with. So yeah, everybody's been reporting on old Sanus and said that, you know, he still ain't right. Now, I know that Keke Palmer was in a relationship with his brother. You guys remember Daryl or whatever his name is, Darius. And just recently I saw, even though Keke and Darius had some bad blood, looks, you know, like they've worked it out and they okay now. He went off to the military and I saw pictures of him, I think when he graduated from basic training, and I saw pictures of him at a birthday party that they had for the baby when he just turned 2, little Leotis. And so Kiki and Darius look like they've been able to work it out and everything. But however, Sanus, we just still can't quite seem to get Sanus to get some act right in him. Women are complaining and reporting him and saying that he's abusive and everything. He's responded and said that he is not abusive. He is very aware of his tall and sometimes intimidating stature. He's like 6'8". Not really a big husky type of guy, but you know, still 6'8". Motherfuckers can reach and do all kind of things, and he said he's aware of that, so he makes sure that, you know, he is not ever in a situation where a woman feels threatened by him. But I guess that is minus these other times that these women is three. I think it's just the two right now, but I think that there's another woman in the past that has complained about him as well. So yeah, I was just like, dang, I thought everything was all good, because I feel like at that birthday party that he was there, and I feel like at least one of them baby mamas was there. I mean, they could have been there not together. I'm sure she might have been there just to support Kiki and the baby, you know, because they are family in some old fucked up kind of way, you know. So maybe so that's what I was thinking what was going on, but no, it looks like it's still bad blood between the two. Dominique Perry, that's one of the baby mamas, and then Brittany Bell is the one who is saying right now that did I say Kiki Wyatt? I hate when I mess up the names. It's not Kiki Wyatt. Y'all know I have a really bad habit of saying Kiki Wyatt every time. It don't matter who I'm talking about, it's always gonna be Kiki Wyatt, but I'm talking about Kiki Palmer, okay? So yeah, hopefully, I mean, well, I'm just glad that Kiki and Darius and you know, that they've been able to work out their differences. I don't believe that they're back together. Kiki is gone off and has blasted off into stardom and is busy and doing the fizzle out there. But I'm glad that, you know, they don't have that bad thing hanging over their heads no more, because that was too much, and it was threatening to knock her off her square. And I was just like, girl, you gonna have to get rid of the nigga, something gonna have to happen. And because you was right, she was right in the thing about to blast off, and then all that shit happened. Maybe some of that might have in some kind of weird way also help catapult her, because we just was seeing Kiki, all that shit with Usher and all. It was just every day you turned around, it was Kiki. It's hot as fuck in here, y'all. I'm on my I almost am done anyway. I gotta open this door, y'all. But yeah, so anyway, hope these ladies, and just letting you know, be aware, they say that Sanus got a mean left hook. Y'all better learn how to duck, child. Next story. And then lastly, you guys, talking about end of an era. One of the Roxstars sent me a picture yesterday. Someone had taken a picture of the OLG door, the original OLG on Peter Street. Child, they done closed it down. Okay, they have permanently closed Old Lady Gang over on Peter Street. That's over in Old Castleberry Hill out here. Real artsy fartsy, a lot of cute little lounges, tattoo parlors, and cute little boutiques and stuff. They're all over there. Yeah, they said that they are closed permanently, and that you're welcome to go to the OLG that's over in Camp Creek, which is over by my house. Not super surprising. One, because Peter Street is not as frequented as it used to be. People don't go over there as much as they used to. Also, Candy and Todd are busy. Like, we know they opened that restaurant. It was Todd's, like, vision, inspired by, you know, Candy's mom, Joyce, and her aunt, Bertha and Nora. You know, he wanted to have, like, a Southern cuisine eatery where they kind of used recipes that the aunts and the mother used. And you know, we've heard about it. It was like everybody was talking about OLG, and people, you know, some people either liked it or hated it. You know, people had all that. But anyway, it was a really popular eatery out here for a while because of the popularity of Real Housewives of Atlanta and Candy being there. I mean, it was just like a genius thing that they did there. However, like all other restaurants out here, unless you're like some huge chain, it is hard to keep a restaurant busy. You have to be 100%, I mean, not busy, open. You have to be dedicated to this restaurant. And even when you are dedicated 100%, most people end up not keeping their restaurant for, you know, decades and things like that. That doesn't happen any longer. It's hard to compete, it's hard to pay the bills and all that. And so yeah, child's getting on the last story, I had to break out the fan. But yeah, you guys, on top of that, I mean, they're busy. They're in New York doing the Broadway thing, and you know, Candy's got her other businesses, and Todd, I guess, assuming that he has his other things that he has to do. It's hard to keep something like OLG off the ground, okay? But I mean, they had their time. It's not surprising. But I feel like every celebrity that I know out here in Atlanta that has opened a restaurant, they've never lasted. I mean, none of them. So Candy put a good foot forward for a long time, but you know, this too shall end. So that's it. The one in Camp Creek is still open, and I think they have a location at the airport. But I think eventually, at least the one in Camp Creek, I believe, is going to eventually be closed as well because of the reasons that I just told you. But yeah, so there is that. I don't even know. I guess Blaze is still there, but I never hear nothing about Blaze. And I never even go in that area. To me, that area is not... I go over in that area because that's right by where Jada works, her suite when she's out here. But down where their restaurant is, nobody goes over there. Like, it's off the beaten path to me. So I don't know how well Blaze is doing, if it's even still open. But yeah, you guys, OLG is a thing of the past. Did you ever make it out there? Did you enjoy the food? Y'all let us know. But that's that on that, y'all. All right, you guys, that is it. I'm at McDonald's, about to eat some food that's not good for me. Big Mac meal. That's all I ever get. And 10-piece nugget meal. Those are the only, and filet of fish meals. Those are the only things I get from McDonald's. Fuck around with no new shit. I eat the same thing, okay? Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. We do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars.